Hello, my dear viewers. Stay updated with all the latest WWE news and matches. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon to never miss an update. In a turn of events that has sent shockwaves through the WWE Universe, the unthinkable has happened. Solo Sikoa and the entire new Bloodline have been fired from WWE. This unprecedented decision came in the wake of an emotional and heartfelt promise from none other than The Rock, a promise that would change the course of WWE history. The announcement, which reverberated throughout the wrestling world, unfolded during one of the most intense and dramatic moments in WWE history, leaving fans stunned and speechless. For weeks, tensions had been simmering within the Bloodline, a faction once united by blood, power, and dominance. Ever since Roman Reigns' reign as the tribal chief began to crack under the weight of his own ambition, a vacuum of power formed within the once unbreakable family. Solo Sikoa, alongside the emerging faction known as the New Bloodline, had set their sights on carrying the torch forward, believing their methods and vision were the future of their family's legacy. Yet, their tactics, their defiance, and their refusal to conform had become more controversial than respected. Fans found themselves split down the middle. Some admired the raw power, rebellion, and sheer grit of the New Bloodline, while others questioned whether this new iteration of the faction had forgotten what it meant to represent the true spirit of the Bloodline. Through it all, one figure had remained largely silent: The Rock, a cornerstone of the Anoa'i family legacy. He had watched from the sidelines as his family's empire seemed to crumble, torn between loyalty to his bloodline and his sense of what was right. However, his silence was about to be broken. The moment that would change everything came just a few weeks ago when The Rock made his surprise return to SmackDown. The arena erupted with electric energy as the unmistakable sound of The Rock's music blared through the speakers, and the crowd went wild. His presence on the stage was more than just a pop for the audience. It was a statement, a reminder of what the Bloodline truly stood for: honor, respect, and family. However, it was immediately clear that The Rock was not happy with what he saw. As he stood in the center of the ring, the weight of his words hung heavy in the air. The Rock's face, often filled with confidence and a playful charisma, now reflected the deep turmoil within him. He expressed his dismay at what the family had become. His family, the Anoa'i dynasty, was slipping into chaos. The Bloodline, once a symbol of unity and strength, had transformed into a faction that seemed to care more about power and dominance than the ideals that built their legacy. He pointed an accusing finger not only at the faction's leadership, but specifically at Solo Sikoa, who had been growing more defiant by the week. Solo, known for his quiet intensity and stoic demeanor, was not one to take criticism lightly. His eyes burned with frustration as The Rock's words cut deep. He had spent years carving out his place within WWE, earning respect by standing alongside Roman Reigns and the Bloodline, only to be told by his own flesh and blood that his vision was wrong. To Solo, the New Bloodline represented the future, a future where they ruled with an iron fist, where the past's shadows would no longer hold them back. The tension between The Rock and Solo Sikoa escalated rapidly over the following weeks. Week after week, the war of words grew more personal and heated, each man trying to assert his version of what it meant to be part of the Anoa'i family. The Rock was firm in his belief that the family's values of loyalty and respect should be honored above all else, while Solo viewed these ideals as antiquated, too restrictive in a modern world of wrestling where power and dominance were the keys to survival. The confrontation came to a head during a special edition of SmackDown. The anticipation was electric as the WWE Universe prepared for a showdown of legendary proportions. The Rock had promised action, and the time for words was over. As the New Bloodline entered the arena, they were met with a mixture of cheers and boos from the crowd. Solo Sikoa, flanked by the other members of the faction, carried himself with the confidence of someone who had no doubt in his mind that he and his group were the future of WWE. They marched to the ring with their heads held high, ready for whatever The Rock had in store. But as the segment unfolded, it became clear that The Rock was not bluffing. As the tension in the arena mounted, WWE Chairman Nick Khan made a surprise appearance, standing by The Rock's side. Together, they outlined the reasons behind their decision to part ways with the new Bloodline. The crowd was silent, their collective breath held as they waited for the bombshell to drop. Khan and The Rock cited a series of incidents, backstage altercations, blatant disregard for WWE's authority, and a troubling pattern of behavior that had brought negative attention to the company. The Rock, visibly emotional and clearly struggling with the gravity of his words, reiterated his promise. This wasn't just about WWE business or family rivalries. It was about the long-term health of his family's legacy. He would not allow the actions of the new Bloodline to tarnish everything his ancestors had fought for. Then, the moment that no one could have predicted came. Solo Sikoa and the entire faction were officially released from WWE. The words hung in the air like a death knell, leaving the WWE Universe in stunned disbelief. The crowd erupted in a mixture of shock, boos, and a few hesitant cheers. The weight of the decision settled over everyone, and in that silence, it became clear that this would be a turning point in WWE history. Solo Sikoa stood in the ring, his expression unreadable, but his clenched jaw and the fire in his eyes betrayed the storm brewing within. The man who had spent years building his reputation was now standing at the precipice of an uncertain future. Despite his stoic exterior, it was clear that he did not agree with the decision, but he understood that there was no turning back. As Solo and the rest of the new Bloodline made their way up the ramp, the finality of their release was undeniable. The Rock, standing in the ring alone, took a deep breath and addressed the crowd one final time. His voice cracked with emotion as he thanked the WWE Universe for their unwavering support throughout this turbulent journey. He spoke about the sacrifices his family had made, about how they had fought for every inch of success, and how that success was never about domination or violence. It was about respect and unity. With a heavy heart, The Rock then turned his attention to Solo Sikoa. "You're still my family, Solo," he said, his words resonating with sincerity. "But you've got to understand. This is about more than wrestling. It's about who we are as a people. Take this time to reflect, to grow, and to find your way. Redemption is always possible, but you've got to make the right choice." The words stung, but they were said with love, with a deep hope that Solo would rise from this difficult moment stronger and wiser. The moment was charged with raw emotion, leaving fans across the world teary-eyed, unsure whether they had just witnessed a heartbreaking farewell or the beginning of a new chapter. The fallout from this decision was immediate, with social media exploding in a frenzy of opinions, debates, and reactions. Some fans praised The Rock for standing firm and protecting the legacy of his family, while others criticized him for making a harsh and untimely decision. Wrestling legends and fellow superstars chimed in with their thoughts, some offering their support to Solo, while others backed The Rock's decision. The future of Solo Sikoa and the new Bloodline remained uncertain, but what was clear was that this moment would go down in history as one of the most emotional and controversial decisions ever made in WWE. It was a moment that defined the importance of family, legacy, and the hard choices that come with protecting both. As we close the chapter on this emotional saga, it's crucial to reflect on the larger themes at play. The story of the new Bloodline and the fallout from The Rock's promise carries with it timeless lessons about loyalty, growth, and the responsibility of those who stand on the shoulders of giants. The power of family is undeniable. But sometimes, the greatest act of love is pushing those you care about to do better, to evolve, and to understand that legacy is not just about power, it's about integrity. Looking forward, the WWE Universe stands at a crossroads. With the dawn of a new year, the stage is set for fresh beginnings, new opportunities, and unexpected challenges. The WWE landscape is always shifting, and 2025 promises to be a year filled with both heartache and triumph. as the superstars who define this world continue to evolve. The legacy of the Anoa'i family is far from over, but its future now lies in the hands of Roman Reigns, Solo Sikoa, and the other members of the Bloodline. The road ahead is uncertain, but the WWE Universe remains unwavering in its support of its champions, its families, and its legends. The passion that drives the WWE Universe will continue to fuel the stories and rivalries that make this sport so unforgettable. The best is yet to come, and as we step into the new year, we know that the WWE Universe will continue to thrive, evolve, and, most importantly, stand united. So here's to 2025, a year full of promise, hope, and new beginnings. To all the fans, the superstars, and the legends who have made WWE what it is today, we say thank you. Together, we will face the future with strength, determination, and the unbreakable bond of family. Happy New Year, WWE Universe. Let's make 2025 a year to remember.